Good morning, all Gooners. We are here. It's a Monday. We've got the Monday night game. We've seen everyone play, and now it's our turn tonight at 8 o'clock. I've got Charlene and Helen with me. How are we doing, guys? How are we feeling? We've seen everyone do their job. Or to be fair, a lot of rivals have dropped points, and now it's our chance to try and capitalise. What are we thinking?
I'm thinking we've got a chance to catch up the little pack ahead of us. If we win tonight, we're a point behind West Ham, Everton, Manchester United, 2 points behind Spurs. So important 3 points tonight.
Yeah. What about you, Charlene?
Good morning. Well, I'm thinking, is it the best game left till last?
Well, I mean, it's probably, in terms of, Vieira coming back and the narrative around it all, it's definitely up there.
Exactly. I think we got a fair chance to go for it as well. I mean, Vieira's been doing all right so far with Palace. Going into the international break, we've been okay as well. Arteta getting manager of the month as well. So, he'll be buzzing.
Yeah, it's been quite a drama-free international break, really. There's kind of, I mean, unless anything's escaping my mind. By the way, I think we're just having some problems on the live stream, but people should be coming in shortly. But anyway, we'll be here to just give our opinions anyway. It's been quite drama free. We've come back. All the kind of the main negativity at the moment seems to be around Man United and their performances. Obviously they've kind of been the talk of the town. Newcastle with the kind of ownership situation there. Arsenal have been able to just quietly go about their international break. The players have been doing well. Obviously goals to Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, Pepe. Everyone's kind of done their bit. But now it's all about getting the 3 points. Vieira coming back. We've been talking about this on the warm-up. I'll start with you, Helen. Vieira coming back. Does it add pressure on Arteta, or do we just have to kind of ignore it and get on with our job?
No, we have to ignore it and get on with our job. But our manager's professional. I wouldn't want a manager in the job that's worried or threatened by any other ex-player or manager. So, get on with the job. It's all about taking 3 points tonight. Go about our business exactly like you said, quietly, confidently. Hopefully put on a very good performance equally. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere tonight. I think we're all, we've all missed going. I expect and anticipate the atmosphere we had at the Tottenham game. I think Vieira will get an outstanding reception from the Arsenal home fans tonight, deservedly so. And then the battle begins.
But that's so I want to throw that on to you then, Charlene. So it's interesting, Helen says there's, anticipating a huge atmosphere. Vieira will get, probably a massive welcome home, which is fine and more than deserved, and that's fantastic. Could that work against him and his Palace side, though? I mean, if the Arsenal fans are more fueled because Vieira's back, and there's almost a sense of, I don't want to say excitement, because no one's there hoping Vieira does really well and Palace win, obviously, but maybe it just adds something to the atmosphere and to the kind of, maybe there's kind of a bit more edge to the fixture, which might favour Arsenal, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely have that home advantage. Vieira, like Helen's saying, will get that warm welcome, and the fans are going to be buzzing. So it could perhaps work against Palace. I think definitely more of an advantage to us, really.
I think this is I think it's such an interesting game because on paper, if you look over the years, this is exactly the kind of game that, to be honest, Arsenal are going to draw. With the kind of football we play, we don't score a lot of goals. Actually, you'd sort of half expect Arsenal to have a lot of the ball, not do a lot with it. Palace would be difficult to break down, but they're a slightly different animal under Patrick Vieira. They are a bit more open. They do something that Sess and I are going to talk about on the build-up at 6 p.m. So go check that all out, guys, later. But it is something that they could be a bit more open. There could be more spaces. We saw in the Spurs game, they kind of looked like they wanted to press us, but they didn't really. So we completely picked them off in that first half. Is this the same Palace of the last couple of years, or do you think we're going to be facing a more expansive side today?
I think definitely a more expansive side today. I think this is probably one of the best Crystal Palaces I remember watching. Maybe years ago when they had Ian Wright, there might have been a period they were quite exciting with him and Bright up front. But I think Crystal Palace are a force at the moment. I don't think we can go into this game expecting 3 points. I mean, I do as a fan, but you have to give respect to this team. I think they're a quality side. They've got quality throughout their team. You know, we've got players that can score goals. You've got players that can hold the ball. You know, I hope we will be superior and take the 3 points, but it could easily be a 0-0 draw today. We could lose 1-0 because Crystal Palace are a very good side.
We've got a few predictions coming in. Wilson went for the 2-0. We've got Given says 3-1 with Partey to score his first. We normally leave this to the end of the show, but quickly, Charlene, how are you feeling? If you were to put your money on a score right now,
I wouldn't be surprised if we were to get a draw. But I mean, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, you want to get a win. I think it'd be quite a tight game. So I'm looking about probably like a 1 or 2-0 win to Arsenal. You know, I'm always
there's a general consensus amongst most that this is going to be a tight game. I don't think anyone's expecting us to turn up, play free-flowing football, be 3-0 at half time like we were against Spurs. Obviously, we've seen this team have it in them, and that's great. And Spurs are a better team than Palace, although Palace beat them 3-0. But yeah, I don't think people are expecting this to be a walkover. I do think it's going to be. How do I put it? You know, it might take like a set piece or like an awkward goal to put us 1-0 up, a bit like against Norwich. You know what I mean? And then maybe the floodgates will open a little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm feeling. I feel like it's either going to be a moment of quality or a mistake or something that's going to just kind of get us over the line with that first goal and settle us down. Because this might be the first game in a while where there's a little bit of pressure on Arsenal in terms of climbing the table. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you look at the table, there's an opportunity to start making up points now.
Well, exactly. There was a lot of drop points in certain games, which has allowed us to literally catch up that little pack directly above us. So we need to capitalise on that opportunity because like we see from the beginning of the season, how quickly football turns. I mean, all of a sudden, the spotlight's on Manchester United when they were title favourites. We go within a point of them. So we need to just really be focused and be mean and just business-like. You're there to take all 3 points.
The type of Arsenal team that we need turning up today is perhaps the team that we had that played against Spurs. Everyone looked like they were willing to play, wanting to play. And that's the kind of energy that we need for today's game as well.
You need that mentality running throughout the team for me anyway, in every game.
You Helen, you've been to most home games this season, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, the atmospheres, I've been to a couple, I've been to a couple, only one of the Emirates this year. But I was even at the Etihad when we lost 5-0. We were there, Helen.
I was there.
And the fans were unbelievable that day. Yeah. There's definitely, I mean, the fans are well behind this. I mean, the one thing the players can't, they never do, to be fair, but the one thing they can't say is that there is in the atmosphere that we're not driving them on. Like, it's all there for them. It's a home tie. It's the Emirates. It's a Monday night. It's set up for them to go and, put on a show a little bit.
I think so. And I genuinely feel, as much as I'm not delusional, I know it can go either way. I know we could lose. I know we could draw. But for me, within my heart, I genuinely feel we will get the 3 points tonight because the crowd will be up for it. I'm telling you. And it's a bit like what you said before. 100% they're going to be up for it. It's going to be a really good atmosphere tonight. Some games you don't get that, like your Norwich's. No disrespect to Norwich, but also the energy is different. It's a London derby, so their fans come. They look forward to coming to the Emirates and these kind of ties. So both sets of fans are going to be wanting 3 points tonight. So the atmosphere.
And the crazy thing is that the atmosphere for Norwich, and that was the game I was at, was actually superb as well. So the Arsenal has been doing their bit. Charlene, you went to the Wimbledon game, didn't you?
Yeah.
I heard the atmosphere was great. I remember you coming on full time, and everyone was saying that both the Wimbledon and Arsenal fans were fantastic that day, and that was a Carabao Cup third round tie or whatever. I mean, the fans are doing their bit.
100% the fans are. I mean, even when the performances ain't great, fans are still there backing the club and cheering them on, giving them the support they need, being the 12th man. So 100%, that energy is definitely going to be there tonight, especially where we are in the table as well. The fact that we need to keep climbing up as well. Fans will be behind the team 100%.
Yeah,
Even when you go back, oh, sorry, what were you saying, Helen?
I'm sorry.
Even when you go back to the Spurs game, I mean, the way we reacted after that result, it was like we won the league. Do you know what I mean? So that just goes to show, you know, the loyalty of the fans. So there's no concerns on that front at all.
No, definitely. And what I would add, which, I mean, for me, when I am at the Emirates, I have such fantastic seats that I feel the energy from the team and the management and all the coaching staff and everything. And we're one, you know, like to see even our manager, like especially the Tottenham game. Wow. I thought he was going to, I genuinely thought at one point, and it was so good to see the way Mikel celebrated that goal.
Yeah, I loved it.
With us, like, it, you know, they want it. They are hungry. They are not happy where we were. We've been rock bottom, and the only way is up now. And we need to just keep looking forward, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Jay here says fans have been amazing throughout, home and away. Can't ask for more. I think it means more, not home. But yeah, can't ask for more. Perfect return after the pandemic. Agree. I definitely think there's that sense of the fans were missing the Emirates so much. But also, like, who was it? I think it was, I can't remember who I did News Daily with. It might have been Chris Hudson, who made a really good point that there's kind of this sense that Arsenal fans, after the way people kind of talk about us in the media, the way people talk about the club, and you know, like we lost 3 games at the beginning of the season because, you know, well, for a lot of reasons, but one of them we can't deny was the players missing. We had 6, 7 arguably really key players missing, all of them unavailable. And we lost those games, and no one was really talking about us with any context. Like, it was just get Arteta out. And listen, we did that to a degree as fans. Like, and we are fans. We're more emotionally invested. But there was a sense that there was no context around why we were maybe struggling. And actually, upon return, since that Norwich game till now, I think Arsenal fans are a bit more like defensive of the club. Like, for God's sake, like, we know we're not very good, but we're also not as bad as you're making out. And there's almost a sense of like, come on, we're in it as one. And when you talk about that Arteta celebration, I think even if you're Arteta in, out, wherever you think, we all kind of loved it because there was this like sense of, yes, like elation, like it's liftoff now, you know?
Yeah. 100%. For me,
I think like there's unity. Soon as the team win, we are one. Yeah. Regardless of, for me, it's not a question of in or out. I only want one thing: Arsenal to be great, successful, play fantastic football, and win trophies. Simple. Nothing else. And every fan, whatever club you support, that's what you want. Why else do you? Maybe that I sound like a really, I don't know, a little princess saying that, but
no, obviously it's what you want from your team, Helen. 100%.
Yeah, I know.
I agree.
Say that because then you feel like you're talking in dreamland. Because some clubs would only dream to have that goal, you know, like to, you know, some of them, like Newcastle, bless them. I mean, you could go back to that now. For how many years, you know, they were a very, very big, successful club in their history. And for years, through bad management, bad ownership, whatever, they lost their way. And look at them. I mean, I was so happy for them. I totally get the politics around everything, so I'm not even going to go there. But as a fan, I feel the love for them. Like, I'm really happy for them as fans.
Wait till they beat us 5-0 at their place, and we'll see how much we're loving them. But no, but I agree with you, Helen. I do agree. Charlene, what were your kind of thoughts on? I don't know, just kind of what we've kind of been saying there, and the kind of unity of the club. Like, it feels to me like people don't want to. Like, after every defeat, there's an inquest, isn't there?
Yeah,
I weirdly think Arsenal fans are kind of past that a little bit. I mean, the best way I can explain it is after Brighton, I was actually really pleasantly surprised by almost the lack of uproar, because we played terribly against Brighton. I was ill, and it didn't make me feel any better. But what I enjoyed was that actually people came away from it going, you know what? We were really bad today, but 10 points out of 12, a resilient defensive clean sheet, defensive performance to a degree, our signings standing up and being counted for. There's things to be positive about. Yeah,
I think that obviously says a lot about the unity around the team, but also the vibe now, because before we were saying there was a lot of like negative energy, whereas now it feels like it's the complete opposite, and there's more of a positive vibe. You know, now that fans are back in stadiums, now that all players are available. Well, obviously Xhaka's now out injured. You know, there speaks about Martinelli, but the game's building up to this. The fact that players are available, Arteta's brought in new signings, and they are proving their worth at the club as well. We're starting to get results. We're seeing performances that we could be proud of on the pitch. And that sort of just says it all about the club. So fans are starting to, you know, see what the process is and starting to, you know, trust into it a bit more as well. And
Well, it's interesting you say that because okay, so let me break that down, because I really think it's interesting what you just said there. So in terms of the process and understanding kind of what it is and all that, I definitely think signings like Aaron Ramsdale, when you see his distribution commanding the area, and let's be honest, we were all really doubtful about that signing.
100%.
We are now in just 4 games, and look, touch wood, he does his job tonight, but we have all in 4 games looked at that and gone, okay, like I see why you wanted him. I see maybe why you spent as much as you did. Now he's still got a lot to prove, but we could definitely see kind of what the idea was behind it. A little bit with Ben White as well. When you got the kind of physical stature of Gabriel and the kind of, and by the way, Gabriel's very good on the ball, but you've got the more elegant nature of Ben White to the right. You're like, okay, I kind of get the partnership. I see what they're trying to do. So I definitely think there are moments, especially since that, you know, last international break in September or whatever, that we can see what the club are trying to do and the process to a degree, but the performances really are still lacking mostly. Like, I think apart from 45 minutes against Spurs, we've not really been at it yet, have we, Helen?
No, we haven't. I don't think the performances nowhere near where they really need to be. But given the whole picture, the whole situation of the club, it's part of us moving forward to where we want to be. So as long as we pick up the points, even in poor performances like the way we felt after Brighton, we knew it wasn't a good performance. But in other seasons, the season before, we lost that match.
Yeah,
so the way
agreed.
we look at games like that is points gained, because we can see we're moving forward. Because last season, we lost that game at Brighton, and I think the season before. So you have to take it for what it is. I mean, I'll expand slightly deeper on your thoughts on what we're seeing as well. Something I've noticed, because it's all about how you analyse, how you view situations. And I think what he's done, actually, because I was the first to moan about Saliba, I'm actually thinking that Mikel Arteta's done a masterstroke with him and Guendouzi there now, because he's preparing them for next season. If he's true to what the little feelers are coming out, that they're both still in our plans as a club because they are our players, I think it's fantastic. He's identified they're not quite ready, possibly, to play right now. He's brought in Ben White, who is ready, Premiership proven, next to Gabriel. See us through this season. Saliba will come back with a good season under his belt, playing against the likes of Mbappe, Messi in France, playing Europa, whoever they might get to play, playing top quality opponents. Maybe it's very clever. So I'm really open to seeing how this all develops over the next season.
Do you know what? I'm actually so glad you mentioned it, because I kind of forgot it as a talking point. This Saliba Guendouzi thing.
You with me, James?
well, I am, but we could so easily be really wrong. So you know, Arsenal fans who wanted to see Saliba and Guendouzi part of the team will be saying, you know, you've got Saka, Smith Rowe, Lokonga, they're all playing regularly. So why could we not keep them and do the same thing? But I know what you mean. Like, realistically, are Saliba and Guendouzi starting in this current Arsenal team? Guendouzi probably. Yeah. Saliba, some would say yes, but I can't tell you whether he's better than Ben White or not. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. He might well be. He might also well not be. Ben White was fantastic last year. And he's got a couple more years of experience. Well, Saliba's played a lot, but still. If they go away and all this unbelievable experience under a great manager like Sampaoli is all, you know, fueling their experience, making them better players, and they come back and they're genuinely part of the squad next year, then Arteta has absolutely delivered a masterstroke. absolutely. But if they come back and they're not sure about their futures at Arsenal, they've got 2 years left on their deal. Suddenly, what's this loan option for Guendouzi? Like 10 million? Like, Marseille might trigger that, and that's out of our hands. So it could still look a really bad situation. And people talk about Guendouzi's attitude, but at the same time, you've got to work with these players. You've got to help them. They're not always going to be perfect immediately. So it's a kind of, yeah. I mean, we got here TTM says Guendouzi is an obligation to buy. I'm not sure it is. I think it's an option, but I might be wrong. What are your thoughts on that, Charlene? Do you think we're using the loan system perfectly, or is this actually a case of Arsenal being a bit ignorant about these players?
I guess time will tell, because we'll see whether or not they make a return, back. Obviously, if they don't come back, then we'll have to see, the benefits of them, not being amongst the squad. But if they do, then we'll have to, obviously have more trust and faith in the club, that they did make the right decision to let these players go out on loan and achieve whatever it is they needed to achieve in order to come back and be a right fit to what it is that Arteta and the team are all building going forward.
Yeah. I do think it's a shame. I mean, everyone's kind of reminding us in the comment section that with Guendouzi it is an option or an obligation. I do think it's a shame, because I always really liked him. I got a lot of hate on Twitter the other day for saying that he was better than Granit Xhaka. But I mean, I always thought I liked his kind of all-action nature, He had, I almost think alongside Partey, he'd be perfect. He's got that kind of
very tenacious
franticness, which I quite like. People talk about his positioning, but he was everywhere for me. I quite liked it.
Yeah, it's just another way to look at it. I mean, whether they come back or not, they're definitely getting valuable experience playing in France at Marseille. So for me, I choose to look at it in a positive light.
Yeah.
So, some
so.
might not view it like that, but I just think you need to get maximum experience for your younger players anyway, whether you're going to use them when they come back or whether you're going to sell them anyway.
Yeah.
Even before Guendouzi went out on loan, he was training separately from the squad, weren't he? I remember him being
right.
Incident, I think. Yeah.
Was that the Brighton incident?
No, you might be right. I think he was, and I think he.
When they went to Dubai, though, something happened.
So I don't know. I mean, to be honest, you hear rumors and you read stuff. I know that for whatever reason, you can tell that he's not really been part of the plan since the last, that Brighton game with the kind of arm around Mope.
Yeah.
And I don't think his spell in Germany went brilliantly either. I think it was fine, but not so. There's definitely drawbacks, but hey, we'll see. I'm quite glad he's doing well. So yeah, good on him. Got about 7 minutes left or so, around that of the stream. Let's pull it back to this game tonight. Now, I think to a degree the lineup kind of picks itself. I mean, I think everyone agrees on the back five, and then midfield there might be a few tweaks here. One of the big things I wanted to chat about though was the kind of Aubameyang Lacazette situation. We saw Aubameyang, I think after the last international break, did well against Norwich, looked dangerous against Burnley. Well, dangerous, looked involved, looked superb against Spurs. So you're thinking, okay, he's getting back to his best as the team's finding form, so is he. But he really wasn't very good against Brighton. Lacazette came on and within 30 seconds made an instant impact with his hold-up play. Is this going to be a case of horses for courses? I'll go to you, Charlene. Is it horses for courses? Is it, whatever striker you need for whatever opposition, you just pick them on the day? In which case, you could argue Lacazette suits this game a bit more. Or do you just have to persist with Aubameyang because of the contract we gave him?
I guess it is a bit of a tricky one, ain't it? Because obviously Aubameyang being our captain and him, finding form again, we want to keep that momentum going, and you don't sort of want to risk dropping him and then, that having that impact. But on the other side, when you've got a player like Lacazette who can come into a game like this and impact, you sort of question, well, would he be a better fit? And do you just drop Aubameyang because it's about getting the 3 points, like you said? Obviously, points is important. It's crucial to try and get that win tonight. So it is a bit of a tricky one.
What are you going for, Helen? Lacazette or Aubameyang? What's your kind of thoughts on it all?
I feel like I'd probably start Lacazette in a game like tonight.
Oh, wow.
But
really,
but I don't know if we will. I would like to think that Mikel will stick with the same team that he picked in the last match and follow suit with that kind of identity of our starting 11.
I don't.
Yeah.
I hear you say. It's a tricky one, okay, because I don't want Aubameyang. Okay, let me put it this way. So Aubameyang started to find form, then he wasn't great against Brighton. I don't want to, after one bad game, say, all right, that's it, you're out, Lacazette's in. Because it's, we're trying to help them find form. We're trying to help Aubameyang get back to it. At the same time, do we have time to waste, dare I say? Like, if we look toothless in the first 65, 70 minutes, actually, dare I say first half, how long before you mix it up and say, no, we don't have time. We've got to be scoring goals. We've got to be looking to throw out front.
I think it depends on how the way the game's going, but Arteta does need to start making earlier substitutions. We're always leaving it so last minute. If we see that a player isn't performing, perhaps not getting us the goals that we need, then and we've got options on the bench, let's not waste no time. So for me, when it comes to substitutions, if the subs needs to be made, let's just do it.
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs to be a little bit more like ruthless with the substitutions. Like Brighton, I think we took too long. Like, he should have mixed that up quicker, but it is what it is. We'll see what he does. I think he will go with Aubameyang tonight. And I think Aubameyang performs better in our home matches as well.
Yes, Cecil made a great point a while ago saying that he thinks Aubameyang, one of the reasons he struggled in lockdown, mainly that full season that we had behind closed doors, is because he's a showman. Like, he loves the crowd. He loves the energy. He loves all that.
Our energy. Yeah.
Yeah, fuels him. And I hadn't thought of it that way, but actually I think that's absolutely spot on. But the comments are interesting here because Vieira says Aubameyang's done. We had Andy here who said it's time for Lacazette. I really thought this was going to be more in favour of, our star captain Aubameyang here. Emmanuel saying 3-5-2 with both of them up front. So people are wanting to get Lacazette into the team.
With them both tonight in this match. You could play both of them up front.
Here we go. People saying, would you not do both? I mean, DW says something that I really agree with here. That last sentence we said, that would really confuse Vieira's plans. We rarely do anything tactically surprising, do we? We never do anything that you think, oh, okay, wow, I didn't. In the same way, Brendan Rodgers against Man United on the weekend, he went to a back three, back five for Leicester, with Vardy and Iheanacho up front. And I think that kind of startled United a bit. We don't really... I can't see us going to a back three, two up front, and just going, here you go, Patrick, we've completely mixed it up. We've completely changed the game plan. You kind of know what you're going to get from Arsenal. It's about us executing it tonight. I know it's something, Helen, you always call for us to be a bit more unpredictable.
Yeah, I find it really boring when everything is so predictable. It's too boring. You've got a squad to utilise to the best of your ability. And, when you need your armoury, you put it on and you go gun them down,
Exactly. Don't hold back, mate.
Yeah.
But don't you need consistency?
In a sense, yeah, but... In a sense, yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to be too predictable. If you know that you're going here to do something, the same thing over and over, you're just going to keep getting turned over, mate.
Yeah, I think maybe, though... Yeah. I think at one point, though, Mikel was very unpredictable with every selection.
That's true. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, we were calling for consistency, and now here we are saying, be more predictable, but unpredictable. Do you know what I think? I think unpredictability can come in, like whether he's going to play Smith or Odegaard Partey in midfield, or whether he's going to play Lokonga. Whether he's going to play Lacazette with Saka, Lacazette with Pepe on the left, or whether it's going to be Aubameyang with Saka on the left. Like, you can mix it up in different ways while still kind of keeping your fundamentals. And I want to see the same goalkeeper and back four. I think let's show consistency in that.
Yeah,
that's itself, really, don't it?
And I think definitely, like, from that point of view, that goes without saying. But I think also it's very, very important to have Emil Smith-Rowe on the pitch tonight. I think he is our little key that unlocks everything. And especially in London derbies, big games. These players stand up big. They do.
Yeah. No,
you know,
I agree.
you can't say that loud enough. I don't think they get the credit. I don't want to over put pressure on them, but we need to voice how brilliant our young players are, because they have been the ones that have stepped out and carried us to this next phase of the process.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree. And you need players like Odegaard who've got the work rate as well. And you need players like Gabriel and Tomiyasu who are really robust at the back. And Ramsdale who's going to command his area. I mean, this is all going to be key to we've got a young team. We have a young team. And I'm aware that we're already in 30 minutes. So we'll get your final thoughts on this. But we're a young team. It's not fair to expect consistency. That's because they're so young. Because 38 games of Premier League season, even without European football, it's grueling. It's tricky. You know, you're going to have drop points that you're not expecting. But at the same time, we had that against Brighton. Brighton was okay, we weren't great, but we came out with a point and we got something out of it. There's reasons to be somewhat positive, I suppose you could say that. But that only kind of counts for something if you then beat Palace and you beat Villa. And if we win I think I saw Gunner blog, James McNicholas post about it. Win our 2 games before anyone else kicks another ball, and we're into the top 4. Now, I know then results could dictate we fall out of it to 6th or 7th or whatever, but that's not the point. The point is win our games and we're in touch with it. And we never thought we'd be saying that after 3 games.
Imagine the confidence boost as well, being in top 4.
Right, when everyone else is still to play. So we do our bit on Monday night. We do our bit on Friday night. 2 night games at the Emirates in front of the home crowd. Job done, 6 points. Off we go in the top 4. Let's see what you got, guys.
Yeah,
you know that's what Arsenal. That would be the perfect week for us.
It really would, and I genuinely hope we witness it play out like that this week.
Imagine literally go from 20th place to now top 4. Now you put it like that, James. You've got my energy up there. I want to win even more tonight, mate.
That's the crowd. But you know what? Do you know what I love though? You know when you go to games and there's that sense of like, let's go, let's win. But I'm kind of also seeing what the other games are doing. But also we know that they're still playing. So we
know what we need to do tonight.
Tunnel vision. We know what we need to do. Friday, we know what we need to do. We don't have to think. We don't have to look at anyone else. Have to worry. We don't have to say, "Oh, well, a point's fine because they drop." No, do your bit, and you are sitting in the top 4. Yes, others have games in hand, but it's about going into Friday night and everyone going off to their Friday night and going off to their nights out, which I'm sure I'll be. Yeah, and everyone going into their Saturday mornings and thinking, "I'm going to watch Premier League football knowing my team in the top 4." And yeah, the result might mean we drop out. But you set a marker. You say to Tottenham and Villa and United and everyone else, you say, if you want to be in the top 4, you've got to win your games. And that we got the chance to set that. And when was the last time we've said that? When was the last time Arsenal Football Club have said that?
Yeah, for me, James, to me, that's leadership mentality. To me, that is what I expect. That is how we should be looking. We shouldn't be looking at it now. We should be looking at that mentality, period. That is the basics within football for me.
Yeah,
I expect the players to be thinking that and feeling that.
I do too. Well, I'm just getting up the fixtures from the weekend because I was having a little look at these earlier. Okay, Everton play Watford, but then Brighton face Man City. It's Brighton are up there, so we've got to be talking about them. Leicester go to Brentford. They're 2 teams that are in and around us. Tottenham go to West Ham, another 2 around us, and then Man United host Liverpool. Massive opportunity this week. We've got to take it. Let's just get quick score predictions to round it off. Charlene, I think, what did you go for? 2-0, do you say?
2-0 to Arsenal.
Okay, and Helen?
2-1 Arsenal.
Okay, amazing. Van is...
What are you going for, James?
I said 2-0 as well. No, I said 1-0. I said 1-0. Yeah, I think it'll be a tricky one. Yeah. Just a reminder that Martinelli is injured. He was a doubt, but I mean, hopefully he'll be back. And we do want to see him get more game time, but that's a discussion for another day. Nostalgia's gone for 2-1. Anyway, we've gone slightly over, but worth it because we know how big this week is. So hopefully we've all fueled your energy, guys. If you're going to the Emirates, bring the energy because this is a massive chance.
There'll be loads of it tonight.
I know. All eyes on us now in the Premier League. For the next 2 live Premier League games, all eyes on us. Let's put on a show and tell people we're not as bad as you keep saying we are. That's my thing.
Prove it tonight with 3 points, baby.
Exactly. Charlene, Helen, thank you so much. Who's going to the game, by the way?
Helen
Yeah,
will
I'll be there.
I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm going. I'll be there with my dad. Looking forward to it. Yeah, should be good fun. Amazing. All right, guys, don't forget everything coming up. We've got the build-up at 6 p.m, 6:45 starting 11 show. We've then got the watch-along straight after. I think Turkish and the gang will be there. And then we'll have full-time and fan cams. Yeah, lots going on. There's always lots going on AFTV. I think we might have some more stuff coming out throughout the day, so check out our social channels. And there's a cool, if you've not seen it yet on Instagram, there's a cool match day guide that Harvey and the team have put together. It's really great. It's your kind of match day guide when you're at the Emirates, the shows we're doing, but on top of that, where to go get a drink, where to go eat, what time the game, all that.
Instagram. Where is it on Instagram?
I am not as clued up on that. It's on there. I'm terrible with Instagram. I barely use it. But it is there. Harvey showed me and it's wicked, so go check it out. But anyway, you'll see it. Go check out the AFTV account. It's all there. All right. We're well over time, but who cares? We've had fun. Charlie and Helen, thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys later.
See you later. Bye.